Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Sir Syed Children's Academy English language class of grade 7, and I'm your teacher Ms. Sabah. As we have studied noun and its types, common noun and proper nouns, now we will move towards the types of common nouns. Here you can see in the chart there are two types of common nouns. The first one is countable nouns and the second is uncountable nouns. You can see this chart in your book as well. Now, let's talk about countable nouns first. Countable nouns. So, what are countable nouns? They are also called count nouns. And with this name, you now know that these are the nouns that can be counted as individual units. As you can see in the picture, there are 5 apples and 4 bananas and 1 tomato, and you can easily see them and count them on your fingertips. Now we will talk about concrete countable nouns, as countable nouns is further divided into two types. The first one is concrete and the other one is abstract. Now what is concrete countable nouns? Now, concrete noun is a noun that can be identified through one of the 5 senses, which are taste, touch, sight, hearing, or smell. Now, some of the concrete nouns are countable and some are uncountable. First, we will talk about countable concrete nouns because we are studying countable nouns right now. For example, cup, ambulance, phone, person, dog, computer, doctor, and so on. Now you can see each of these can be considered as an individual separable item, which means that we are able to count them with numbers. We can have 1, 2, 5, 15, 100 and so on with them. We can also use them with the indefinite articles a and an, which signify a single person or thing, or with the plural form of the nouns. For example, a cup or 2 cups. An ambulance, several ambulances. A phone, 10 phones. A person, many people. Here, the point is very clear that all the things that we can count separably are concrete countable nouns. Now, let's move towards abstract countable nouns. Now, abstract countable nouns. To understand that term, first you need to know what are abstract nouns. An abstract noun cannot be seen, heard, tasted, touched, or smelled. So basically, abstract nouns are not tangible, but many of them can still be counted as separable units, and they can take either a or an or be made plurals. Let's see some examples. A conversation, 2 conversations, an emergency, several emergencies, a reading, 10 readings, an idea, many ideas. Now, we know that all these examples cannot be perceived by our senses, but they are still abstract nouns. Now, let's move towards uncountable nouns. Uncountable nouns. So, what are they? They are the nouns that cannot be considered as separate units. They are also known as non-count or mass nouns. As you can see in the example, there is bread, cheese, and milk, and all these things are non-counts because you cannot count them. Now, you can count them in another way, like there are 3 pieces of bread, there is a bite of cheese, and there is a jug of milk. Means you can count the pieces, but you cannot count the bread. You cannot count milk, but you can count a jug. So, now you know that uncountable nouns cannot be counted. Now let's move forward. Concrete uncountable nouns and abstract uncountable nouns. Now, what are concrete uncountable nouns? We already know what are concrete nouns. Now we will learn what are concrete uncountable nouns. These are the nouns that cannot take the indefinite articles a or an in a sentence because it can be a single amount of something but cannot be in plural forms or take numbers. For example, I see some smoke over there. Now I used some to tell you this unspecified quantity of uncountable noun here, but I cannot say I see a smoke or two smoke over there. It will be inappropriate. Now, in the second example, you can see I have written I don't have any furniture. I used any to tell you the unspecified quantity again, but I cannot say I don't have furnitures or two furnitures or one furniture because it will be incorrect. Now you know we cannot use a or an, but we can use some or any to unspecified quantity measures. Now, sometimes we use definite article the to specify our noun, not its amount. Now see the example, they're swimming in the water. Now water is uncountable, concrete noun, but we are specifying the water by using the definite article, but we are not specifying any amount. In the second example, it is written, the homework this week is hard. Now I am specifying that particular homework that has been given in this week, but I am not specifying any amount. So, now you know what are concrete uncountable nouns. Now let's move towards abstract uncountable nouns. Now, what are abstract uncountable nouns? Abstract nouns we have already learned, but what are abstracts in uncountable nouns? There are large number of abstract nouns that are not countable because mostly they are ideas, their feelings and their qualities. Here we will talk about ideas, concepts, qualities or feelings. Ideas like love, hate, news, access, knowledge and qualities like beauty, intelligence, arrogance, permanence. These are all very much uncountable and abstract. Again, these cannot take indefinite articles or be made plural. Means you cannot say, I have a hate, because hate can't be one or two. It is the complete emotion. Like you can see in example number 1, I have written, he's just looking for love. Now I cannot say, he's just looking for a love or so many loves. But he is just looking for a love. Why? Because that's an idea, that's an emotion, a concept. And we cannot use articles with such concepts or ideas. There is another example. She's gained a great deal of knowledge during college. Now, I cannot say she's gained a great deal of one knowledge or two knowledge because knowledge is a complete term for all the things you learned. Now, again, we can use definite article the to specify the uncountable nouns. As I have written an example, I can't stand watching the news. Now I can use the with news to specify that particular news. In another example, I have written, can you believe the arrogance he exhibits? Now I am specifying someone's quality, that is arrogance. And I can use the to specify his quality, not to count it. So I hope it is clear to you now that abstract uncountable nouns are simply not countable and they cannot be one or two. They can be the complete idea, the complete concept or a quality or any kind of feeling which we cannot count in numbers or we cannot touch these nouns because they are abstract. Now let's study some rules for countable and uncountable nouns. There are some rules for countable and uncountable nouns. Number 1. Singular countable nouns cannot occur without an article or a determiner. Now, what is determiner? These are also articles and these are used to define nouns. For example, I have lost a book. Here, I is a determiner or an article which is defining about book. Now, I have lost my book. Now, my is a determiner because it is defining a book. Second rule is uncountable nouns cannot take the article a or an. Now, uncountable noun, whether it's a concrete or an abstract, it is uncountable, so it will never take a or an before it. For example, there is sugar in the box. Now you cannot say there is one sugar, there is a sugar, or there is an sugar in the box. You will simply write there is sugar in the box. Third rule, although uncountable nouns do not have plural form, we can use units of measurement to refer to any quantity of uncountable items. Now we have already studied that uncountable nouns cannot make plural forms. They are the collective terms. So we can use some kind of measurement units to specify their quantities. But we cannot call them as one or two. As I have already told you, there was the picture where I have shown you the pieces of bread. Now, there you are not capable of counting the bread, but you can count the pieces of bread. So that is the difference between the countable and the uncountable. Here you have some examples like we bought 3 liters of milk. As you know, you cannot count milk. So you can count liters of milk. That liter is specifying the quantity of a milk, but it is not counting a milk. Another example is 2 loaves of bread. Now, you have 2 loaves of bread. You cannot count a bread, but you can count loaves. Here is a sachet of shampoo. Now, there is a 1 sachet of a shampoo. You cannot count shampoo, but you can count its sachets. And 5 kilograms of rice. Now, we cannot count rice, but we can count rice in its measurement unit. Here is another example. He asked for a glass of water. Now, water is uncountable noun, but we can contain it in a glass and we can count glass, but we cannot count water. 3 cups of coffee. Here we cannot count coffee, but we can count cups. And 2 packets of chips. Here you cannot count chips, but you are counting its packets. So all the uncountable nouns, or most of them can be measured in measurement units, but they cannot be counted as single unit of separate item. Now we will move towards the next topic of today, which is a collective noun. Somehow it is connected with countable and uncountable terms. Let's look into it. Now, collective nouns. What are collective nouns? They're basically the groups. For example, pack of wolves, bunch of geese, army of ants. Now we know the wolves, the geese, and ants all are nouns. But if we talk about more than one wolves, like you have already learned that wolves always attack in a pack. So, pack is the word that is telling us that there are more than one wolves. So, it is a collective term. This is called collective nouns. Collective nouns are nouns that refer to a collection or group of multiple people, animals, or things. However, even though collective nouns refer to multiple individuals, they still usually function as singular nouns in a sentence. This is because they still are technically referring to one thing, the group as a whole. Here, these collective terms are singulars. Why? Because they function as a singular noun. But they tell us that in that one word, in that one collective noun word, there are so many other people, things, or animals. So it is basically a group that contain a lot of things. Now let's move forward towards some examples. Now here we have some examples of collective nouns. The first is group, second collection, third tribe, fourth band. Now these are all single units that are made up of similar things or people. Like group can be a people group or things group. Collection can be a collection of anything that is similar to each other. Then there is a tribe. Tribe is a large group of people that are of same caste. And then there is a band. Band is a single unit for musicians. Now let's take some more examples. Now here we have some other examples of collective nouns. As you know, it is refer to a group of people, animal or things. So our first example is a group of people. There is a gang of thieves. Means there is a gang which is consist of lot of thieves. Now in another example it is written that there is a murder of crows. Means there is a large number of crows together. And in third one there is a fleet of ships. Means there are a lot of ships together. You can also see the pictures below the examples. Now let's move towards more examples. Here you can see there is a term written collective nouns and animals. You can find hundreds of different collective nouns used to describe animal group names. But here are few common examples. Like flock of birds, pod of whales, pack of wolves, pride of lions, huddle of penguins, mob of kangaroos, and school of fish. All these terms are used to define different animal groups, and there are so many and so on. Now let's move towards example exercise given in your book as exercise C. Okay, how you will solve this exercise C? First, you will identify all the nouns. How you will identify them? You will underline those nouns. It is possible that each sentence contain more than one noun. I have underlined 5 nouns, but you can underline more than one in each sentence. Then, one by one, you will start writing all these nouns in their columns in the table given on page number 3 of your book. Here the underlined nouns are written in the table in the next slide that you will see, and it will make easier for you to understand and solve this exercise. Let's move forward. Here you can see I have written all the underlined nouns like fruits. Fruits are countable and they can be touched, so they are concrete. Promises, on the other hand, are countable, but they cannot be touched, so they are abstract. Now, water was underlined, and water is a concrete, uncountable noun, as you can touch water. But on the other hand, sweetness is the quality, so it is an abstract. You cannot touch sweetness. Then the bouquet was underlined, and we all know bouquet is a collective term for a lot of flowers that are contained in a single bouquet. So we have written bouquet in a collective column. Just like that, you have to solve this exercise in your table, the one given on page number 3 of your book. I hope you have understood the concept of countable uncountables according to the concrete and abstract nouns, and also the collective nouns. Now I will see you in the next lecture. Till then, Allah Hafiz.